and one marker beacon system. The aircraft is equipped with 2 VOR receivers, 2 ILS receivers, 2 DME systems, and 1 marker beacon system. The VOR information is displayed on the ND according to the selected position of the ADF VOR selector on the respective EFIS control panel. VOR information is also displayed on the DD-RMI on the center instrument panel if the heading signal is valid. Each ILS receiver is integrated in a modular avionics unit called a multi-mode receiver, or MMR. ILS-1 is controlled by MMR-1, and ILS-2 is controlled by MMR-2. The ILS analog and digital data is displayed on the PFD when the ILS push button is selected on the respective EFIS control panel. The green light in the ILS push button will illuminate if the ILS display is selected. The ILS information for the opposite side is displayed on the ND if the ROSE ILS mode is selected on the EFIS control panel. Normally, only the PFD is used for ILS guidance information, and the ND is selected to the nav ROSE or ARC position. DME. The DME frequency is automatically selected for the VOR or ILS. The DME will automatically display when available. The ND and the DD-RMI can display the VOR DME information. The DME receiver can tune 5 stations for navigational purposes, but only the auto-tuned or manually tuned DME is displayed. The PFD can display the ILS DME information. Marker. One marker beacon system is included in the VOR-1 receiver. When passing over these signals, the PFD displays the outer, middle, and inner marker passage. Tuning. The FMGC provides auto-tuning and is the basic method for tuning nav aids. There are 3 tuning modes available. They are automatic tuning, manual tuning, and backup, remote tuning. In normal operation, the FMGC tunes nav aids automatically, with each FMGC controlling its own receivers. If one FMGC fails, the remaining FMGC controls the receivers on both sides. When desired, the crew can manually tune a nav aid by overriding the FMGS auto-tuning. This can be done by inserting either the frequency or the identifier on the RadNav page of the MCDU. It is neither necessary to insert a diagonal nor to include both the frequency and ID. The entered data will be in large font, and the corresponding frequency or ID will appear in small font. If this method of tuning is used, a dimmed underlined M will appear after the ID. When manual tuning is no longer desired, the crew will clear the manual tuned nav aid to allow automatic tuning to be in effect. This is normally done passing 10,000 feet during climb. The auto-tuning can also be overridden by selecting the Standby Nav function on the lower section of the RMP. This method of tuning is normally not used unless there is a dual FMGS failure, and if used on either RMP, will disable all auto-tuning. If the covered nav push button is pressed and auto-tuning is disabled, only the white label lines will remain on the RadNav page, and no blue data lines will appear. The captain's RMP controls VOR1 and the first officer RMP controls VOR2. Either RMP will tune both ILSs as long as nav backup is selected on both RMPs. More information on the RMP operation is provided in the RMP module. DD-RMI. The Digital Distance and Radiomagnetic Indicator, DD-RMI, is installed on the center instrument panel. It provides a compass display, DME displays, and navigation information for the VOR system. The compass is driven by ADARU 1, but ADARU 3 can supply the signal when the attitude heading selector is selected to Captain 3. The two bearing pointers display the bearing to tuned VOR1 and VOR2 stations. The dashed single line pointer is for VOR1, and the double line pointer is for VOR2. A flag appears if there is a failure related to the system. The pointer fails in the existing position. Read the specific details about the possible failures. The display for DME 1 and 2 are at the top of the DD-RMI. They indicate the distance in nautical miles from the tuned nav aid.